Hey guys, I want to do a quick video about adjusting in the Philippines and how long it takes to adjust when you get over here. When I first got here, it probably took me a good 6 months to adjust. It probably took me about a year to really acclimate to the heat. And now that I've been here for a year, it used to feel like always hot here, and now you get a windy day here and you feel like wearing a sweatshirt here some days. I mean, most of the days I won't wear a sweatshirt, but I mean, I can deal with it. But it feels like it's cool here. Like in December, you get some, heavy winds here sometimes, and some other times you do too. But I mean, I noticed in December here we get a cool breeze blowing up the hill here. I mean, we lived close to Tagaytay too, so we get a little bit of a cooler breeze, and sometimes you almost need like a jacket here. But on most days we don't. I mean, I live without it no matter what. We have AC in the house too, but after you acclimate here, you don't feel the heat as much. There is a season where it does get pretty hot here, and then then you're definitely sweating. You definitely want AC, and sometimes you get into jeepneys and stuff like that, or whatever, on a tricycle, and you're sweating. When you're walking around town. But guys, when you get here, you do acclimate. But as far as like other stuff, as far as like adjusting for me to over here, like not to the weather, but to the lifestyles and stuff here, it took me. I mean, I'm a pretty patient guy already, okay? But you have to have a lot of patience to live here, because you're gonna get in line. People are gonna cut you in line. You're gonna lose your temper, and just let it go, guys. Really, just let it go. People are gonna mess up your orders. Yeah, when you're at a McDonald's or something like that, make sure they get it right and make sure they correct it, because it's your money. Restaurants are gonna mess up your order, or they're gonna show something in a picture and they're gonna give you something different and just say, that's not what I ordered. I ordered this here. That's what I want. Send it back. But you really have to speak up around here and make sure people understand you. Make sure your girlfriend speaks up for you too, or your wife or whatever, but when you're adjusting here, okay, adjusting to people and stuff like that, you're going to be sitting in a crowd of people, sometimes friends and stuff like that, and they're going to be talking in Tagalog, and you don't understand their language, and it gets frustrating sometimes, and they forget that you're sitting there and you feel like an outsider. Speak up. Just say, guys, hey, I only speak English. I want to get in on this conversation too. Can you guys speak, English, please? If they do. But I mean, in order to adjust over here, I mean, I'm pretty used to it now. I just go with the flow, and you really need to learn to go with the flow to adjust over here. One of the biggest things for me over here adjusting was the fact that people here they tend to speak louder, and it's just something you get used to, When I do the videos, sometimes I have to go around and tell people, neighbors and stuff like that, hey guys, can you keep it down a little bit? I'm gonna be cutting a couple of videos, and they'll listen to you. They're pretty good. Sometimes, you'll hear them talking again, and sometimes you guys might even be able to hear them in the background or whatever. But and then you have the roosters and chickens and dogs and stuff like that too that can sometimes interrupt videos. It's not too often, but it does happen on occasion. That's another thing you have to adjust to over here. When you move into a neighborhood around here, is roosters and chickens and stuff like that. Make sure when you move into a neighborhood, you know what you're moving into, and don't sign a lease until you know that you're happy in that neighborhood. And also, things change, guys, like in neighborhoods. So I wouldn't go into a lease more than 6 months. I do, because I know my neighborhood very well. And I know what I'm into, and I can deal with a certain amount of noise and stuff like that. And I have the white noise machine, and that helps me a lot. It helps me sleep. Nobody wakes me up. Actually, the kids sleep later because of the white noise. Like on their days off, they sleep till like 10 or 11 o'clock sometimes. And when if they take a nap during the day or whatever to go to rest or something like that, like. They come into the room and they turn on the white noise machine, because they know that they don't hear any background noise, and they just won't be woken up, and it's just a good thing, The other thing is your budget. Your budget. Let me show you. I do a budget every month, and that's my budget, guys. I have a longer budget because I put a lot of things on there that, you know, I'm saving for and stuff. Some of that's savings and stuff, and I put other things on there that there's nothing in. But your budget's going to change a lot in the first few months, and after it settles down, then you can do a really decent budget. But the first few months that you're here, you're really going to have a hard time doing a budget because you're going to want to have AC put in your house, things like that. So bring plenty of money, you know. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to do that short video because people ask me, you know, how long did it take you to adjust and to acclimate? You know, it varies from person to person, but the best advice I can give you is have patience here with people. They're your hosts, and don't forget that. You know, it's your host country. Treat them good. You're gonna have to deal with a certain amount of things. It's a different country here. It's not the United States. Everything's not fast. Everything's slower. It's a different pace. It's island pace. You know, there's like 7,400 islands or 7,600 islands or whatever there is here. You know, and they work on island time. You know, they just kind of take it easy and slower. Lifestyle's different, you know, than the U.S. Don't lose your temper, guys, with people here. You know, like I said, you don't want to give us us expats a reputation here. You know, you will acclimate here. You will adjust here. It is a better style of living here for some. There's definitely changes things you're gonna have to give up, and you know, and then there's some things that are better here. You know, the weather's better, the people are friendlier here. Some people think like there's more crap that you have to put up with here. I actually think that there's less. The crap that you have to put up with here is different than back home. Okay, it's a lot different. And for some people, they make their own hell. And if you lose your patience and you start, you know, getting angry at people, you're just gonna produce your own hell. So that's just my advice. You know, back home, I was a person that tried to stay out of trouble, and it would come to me sometimes. Not all the time, but it did sometimes. You know, people would look for trouble. Here, I don't find that as much. You know, people make their own trouble, kind of. You know, it just be patient and keep a low profile, and you'll be fine here. You know, and you'll have a better life here. I find my life here. I won't say it's 10 times better than the United States. The United States has a lot of things I do miss, like as far as restaurants and stuff like that. But people-wise here, I think it's a lot better. I think if you go get in with the right Filipino friends here, you're in a good place. Okay, and that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to press subscribe, press like, and if you have any ideas for any other videos, guys, just let me know. Thanks.